My name's Katie with Pampered Chef, and I'm super excited to show you some of the hot items for the summer season. And I'm going to start with number one, which is our mandolin. Now, this is not the mandolin that you're used to, the one that's kind of known for cutting off fingernails and cutting off fingertips. This one has so many safety features and so many more options that I hope you love it as much as I do. So for the sake of time, I'm going to show you what it can do and then show you what I use it for most often. So we can do 3 different types of cuts. So you can do, and this is the thickest that it goes, you can do just a round cut. You can do a kind of a French fry cut. You can saw that one. Or you can do a julienne, or most people call a matchstick cut. Now that is on the thickest setting, and it can go as small as a tiny little matchstick or a really, really thinly sliced whatever you're cutting. So I happen to have a zucchini that I'm using tonight, and I love to have fresh vegetables on my salads, but I like for them to know their place and be as thin and as delicate as possible. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I have it set on the julienne setting, which is that tiny matchstick setting, and I have it set to a number 1. So it can go from a number 1 all the way to a number 8, so you can determine how thick you want it. So safety features. First of all, the blade is going to be stored away. So at no point am I touching the blade or is my finger going near the blade. Now this is kind of an interesting length where I can't really put my hopper can't really put my pusher in there, and I can safely touch it with my hand. So that's how I'm going to start. To use it, all I'm going to do is I'm going to depress the button, and as you'll see, we have tiny matchstick slices. Now, once it starts to get a little lower, that's when you want to use the pusher so that your finger's never going near the blade. Now, the blade is going to be inside there, and it is hidden away until it's ready to chop something. So here we go. I just have to stop because I want to show you more. So super quickly, and look at how beautiful these little shreds are. Now, it would take me a long time to be able to do that, but this is how I like my zucchini or my carrots or my my cucumber that I'm putting on my salad. So I will take this thing out. It can go in the dishwasher, super easy to clean, and I don't have to spend all day trying to work on my knife skills. The other thing I love to make is French fries. If you've never had a French fried zucchini or in the air fryer, so good. So I'm going to change this one to our number, actually I'm going to show you kind of the middle of the road. Let's go to a number 5, and this is going to be the French fry setting. So again, I'm going to use the pusher this time, and I can show you how this goes. All right, now I have to find these ones with all the other stuff that I just cut up. All right, here we go. And look at those. So these aren't super big French fries, they're medium size, but it looks like I'm really talented at cutting it, and I'm not, so super awesome. All right, so my kids love to use this. Usually when they hear it, they come running down. One of my sons is next door, the other one is sleeping, so they don't hear it, so I can show you how this works. But I don't mind letting them use it because I know that it's safe, and I know that they're not gonna get hurt. So to take it apart, all you do, first of all, I'm gonna move my collection of zucchini, and I just love how easy it is, and it's so fun to use. All right, from there, I'm going to pull up this little green button, which is going to detach the little hopper there. And then now if you want a little bit closer look, if I push this down, this is kind of the old school mandolin where your finger would be right near that blade, and that blade is sharp. It does come with a cleaning tool, so you'd never have to go anywhere near that. But then to store it away safely, I'm going to depress the pusher and then just turn it, and it's going to stay locked away. And then another safety feature is it covers it up. So my kids are never going to possibly accidentally touch it. The back part, the feet just fold down, and then, I don't know if I can show this to you with all of this stuff in there, but to store it, I'm going to put the top part in there, and you can probably see it normally folds a little lower, and then it stores away like this. Now, as I said, all parts are dishwasher safe, so easy to use. We use it almost all the time, almost every day. We use it all the time. And the only thing that it's not good for is soft cheeses and eggs. We've tried that, don't try it. Everything else cuts like a dream. All right. Next thing is, let's go with something a little cleaner. I'm gonna show you the, what's this called? Cherry and olive pitter. So cherry and olive pitter, yes, you can do it with a spoon. Yes, you can kind of chew it up and spit out the seed, but this is so handy. We use this even more than I thought I would for cherries, and I don't even like olives. So all I'm gonna do, again, it does have a safety feature where it stores away so that the kind of the sharper parts are hidden, but there is a locking mechanism on the top. I'm going to open it up and it opens. Now, these are the sharper parts, but they're really not that sharp. And then there's two different parts. So if you have like a smaller cherry or like a smaller olive, there's the top part. And then we have this part where I'm gonna put my cherries in. And then there's our little collector part. Now it can hold, I don't know, like 100 cherry pits in here before, well, if you're gonna do more than that, you might have to empty it once. All right, now I've experimented with this thing so many times because I love to challenge everything Pampered Chef just because I really stand behind my product. And so, you can put it in anyway. So it can be straight up, straight down, sideways, whatever. All right, let's take a good cherry. All right, so these are some beautiful cherries. It is cherry season. Then all I'm gonna do is push, and that's it. Now you will see what happens is there is you can see a little X, and then the bottom part where the pit comes out. And then you will see the pits collected on the bottom. So, oh my gosh, I love this thing. And kind of a little secret, if you save your cherry pits and put them in some water with some sugar, it makes the most amazing juice once the winter starts. Hello, I'm recording a Pampered Chef video. So this is Jay. Jay is always showing up in my videos. It would have been even funnier if he would have... It's funny, it would have been funnier if he would have come home when I was doing the mandolin. So it's so easy, but what we love is that we love to eat cherries, but it always looks yucky because you gotta leave like a little container there for people to put the seeds, or they're always standing over, eating over the garbage. So this way I can chop up a bunch of them. I like to leave fresh food out. Yes. Oh my gosh. Can you wait till I'm done with my video? I like to leave a bowl of fresh fruit out, and then they're gonna snack on something healthy rather than chips or whatever they might find in the pantry. So the cherry and olive pitter, love, 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 love. All right, the next thing that I want to show you before kind of I make a mess, or more of a mess, is the scoop and serve. Now the scoop and serve, I think this came out actually last season, but it is, again, one of my #1 sellers. But it is so big and you just kind of have to see it in person. Now I use this for everything, and what I really love about a lot of our products is they might be called something, but if they have an alternative use, I like them even more in order for them to earn their position at the top of my drawer. So this one is intended to kind of scoop out a layer of like lasagna and keep all the layers together. So that is a nice healthy scoop. If you can see kind of my hand fitting in there. But I use it for, gosh, really everything, especially for soup. I love to use it to kind of ladle out my soup, but anything that you want a lot of, whether it's kind of like a cake or just really everything, I love this thing, but I really wanted you to see the size. All right, next thing, this is one that is new for this season, is our pasta tongs. So pasta tongs are one of those things that everybody was requesting, and this is another one of those things that I literally use for everything. Yes, they're pasta tongs, but it's so great for getting like an egg out of boiling water. I mean, I literally use them for everything. So I have the regular ones that don't have kind of this bumpy edge, but this bumpy edge is so great for really gripping everything. So the pasta tongs, and then the saute tongs. Now the saute tongs, I have to take these away from my littlest. He's going out with his dad. I have to take this away from my littlest all the time because they're so fun, but they are great chopsticks. But they're so great if you're cooking something that's a little bit more delicate, or if you're getting something out of a small container. So if I had a small container, I could just kind of put it in there to be able to take it out. So whether it's an olive, some capers, cherries, it fits nicely in the container. All right, and then two more things that I'm going to show you. All right, first thing I want to show you is these two items. So a lot of people are familiar with our chopper, and the question that I always get is, how is the chopper different from this guy, which is the manual food processor? Now, just to give you kind of a little bit of a reference in size, This one's really old, so you can see kind of it's a little foggy, and I like that because I've had it for so long. So the chopper is great, especially if I use it a lot, or my husband uses it more than anybody. If I have a lot of ingredients and I can just kind of chop, 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 but it's not great for anything that's liquid. If I'm doing a lot of nuts, I also really like it because I can chop, chop, chop with the top on, pull it over, and then I can sprinkle it where I need to go or put it kind of wherever I need to have it to measure. But the manual food processor can basically do the same thing with a little bit different, kind of in a different way. So for this one, you are depressing the top, and there's blades at the bottom. And every time you depress it and then let go, they spin or they rotate a little bit to be able to chop your food so you're not always chopping in the same spot. All right, now what this one does is, and hopefully you can see this, there's a lock so it's a little bit easier to store. It is a little bit bigger, but I store it in my cabinet, and it's one of those things that are used all the time, so it's usually in the dishwasher. So I'm just going to unlock the handle, and then hopefully you can see this, but all I'm gonna do is unlock the handle, and you'll see that this spins a lot with one push. Now, it's going to be cutting everything in there. Depending on how many chunks that you give it, it will chop it finer the more that you chop it. But the one thing I like about this, as opposed to this, is if you are chopping something, or if you want to mix something up that's wet, whether it's a dip or anything that has any type of like a liquid, maybe like a tomato that has just kind of juice, this one's gonna hold it all in there. Or like an onion, this one holds or has a bigger capacity, so I like that I can kind of throw it in there in less times that I have to actually touch it. I can take out the little blade, super sharp blade, and I can dump it right into my pan or whatever I'm doing, give it a quick rinse, and into the dishwasher. Now, I am going to show you how to use this because I do use this most often when I'm making salsa or guacamole. But it can chop something as, let's say like as firm as like a carrot, or something as soft as an avocado, or like a banana. So I use it all the time for bananas. Yes, I can use a fork. This just makes my life easier and keeps it all contained. All right. Now, did you know that cutting an avocado is the #1 injury when it comes to football season, even more than like the guys playing on the field? Now, the way to tell if an avocado is ripe, and I don't know if this one is if, first of all, if you can squeeze it and if it gives a little bit. So it's kind of like a mango. You want it to be able to give, you don't want it to be too firm. This one's a little firm, this one's a little softer, but there's such a fine time when it's actually ready to go. So I picked a bunch of variety ones, so hopefully this one's a winner. All right, so if this little brown part can kind of come off pretty easy, that's how you know it's ready. So definitely do that in the store so that you know if what you're getting is good. There are a lot of people who don't know that, and I wish they did. All right, so I'm just gonna take this sticker off just because I don't wanna chop that up. All right, now the key is, well, first I'm gonna show you about the tool. So we have our avocado tool. Now you will notice there's a serrated edge. You can see that serrated, that's better. A serrated edge, and then a side that's dull. Now the serrated edge is sharp. If you buy one now, it does come with a little bit of a protective cover. Mine, I got one before we started selling them, so I don't have that. And then there's this part that has 3 sharp prongs that are going to help us to remove the pit. All right, so the key from what I've told is to keep your arm in at your side. I really have a hard time with that, but I like to keep it down on my table. I'm going to just kind of use the serrated edge and start at the top, and then I'm going to not apply a lot of pressure. Now this is how people get hurt. They take a sharp knife in their hand, and if it's really soft, it's scary, and if it's really hard, it's even scarier, because so many people dig in like this, and you can imagine what happened, or they actually slip. So many injuries. Please don't look them up, they're horrible. But this is intended to be a safer option. So I'm just gonna put it on the table and kind of rotate, and I wanna rotate the avocado more than I actually want to use the knife. All right, so yay! I feel like I win the lottery every time I have a pretty avocado. All right, so next part is I'm gonna take this part, and all I'm gonna do, you could whack it, or again, this is what people do, like, or we're not gonna do that. Instead, like, I'm like super freaked out. You can whack it, but I like to just push it down with my finger, a simple twist, and then there you go. Now they do say that if you keep this with your guacamole, it will make it last longer, but usually we eat it in one sitting, so we don't even need to. The other tip that I have is if you have it in some sort of a container, if you put saran wrap or some sort of a seal that is totally covering the top of the food, it will make it last longer. All right, ooh, I just put that in my zucchini. All right, the next part. I'm gonna flip to the side that is not sharp, and keep in mind the other edge of it is going to be sharp. So if you wanted to do your nice cuts, you can do the nice cuts. If you're one of those people who wants to make Instagram worthy avocado dishes, the way that I usually do it is I just squeeze into my bowl. So that's what we're gonna do. If you want to see pretty, you can challenge me and I can make something pretty. So you also can use this as just kind of, you can go around the edge and kind of loosen it up. And there would be kind of the pretty piece of avocado, if that's what you're into, but it makes my hands dirty. All right, from there, I absolutely love our guacamole seasoning. The reason I love it is I have never been able to make decent guacamole until this stuff came out, and it's so easy. Oop, I always forget. There is a sprinkle side and there is a pouring side. So sprinkle and pour, and I think it's a tablespoon. I always just guess. So it's a tablespoon per avocado. So all you need to do is sprinkle it in there. I also love to put this in my eggs. It's so good. It's a great little seasoning, but it makes amazing avocado. So the only person who's ever given me any constructive criticism said, maybe a tiny bit of lime, but like literally you don't need anything else, and it is so good. So all I have in here is an avocado. Chop, chop, chop. I feel like people are pretty particular about certain things. So like you can tell I didn't chop it a whole lot. Depending on how thin or how thick you like your guacamole determines how many times you are going to press it. I like to shake it down just to get it off the edges. So are you a chunky or a smooth guacamole kind of person? Let's take a look at that. So you can tell it's pretty smooth. So you don't need to see me kind of chop more, but it can go even smoother than that. And then if it was more, I could just leave it in the bowl, but it's not a whole lot in here. So I would just, if I was gonna serve it, throw this away or put this in the sink and then serve it right from here. Otherwise, you can kind of make more and serve it from here, put it into a pretty serving bowl. So those are the hot items of the season. If you have any questions about any of these, or if there's any other kind of specialty items, new or old, oh my gosh, I almost forgot the big one. He would have been so mad at me. All right, the big one. I gotta clear my work area for this one and wash my hands. Okay. All right, this is the Deluxe Electric Grilling Griddle. So the Deluxe Electric Grilling Griddle is what it is, what it says. It's a grill and it's a griddle and it's a waffle maker. So I typically use this one. So this is just the griddle setting, but you can cook anything really quickly. And the plates come off really quickly to be able to change them out for other types. But I think the best part is they go in the dishwasher. So they are electric, but you can just put it in the dishwasher to clean. Now, I've never put it in the dishwasher because they are so easy to clean that I just wipe it and I'm done, and I don't have to wait for my dishwasher. Now, there are a lot of settings on here, but it really makes cooking more goof-proof. So I don't know if I put one of the things that I love best about it is it has a probe. So you can plug it in on the side. Then if you're cooking like hamburgers or steak or chicken or something, you can put the probe in your meat and it will read and tell you exactly what temperature it is, so you know when it's done. Now, it can really do so much. Like I need to do like a whole demo just on this guy. All right, so for starters, it can go all the way flat, so you're cooking the top and the bottom, but you can actually adjust what temperature the top is and what temperature the bottom is if you want it to be different. On the side over here, there is a little, you can see that, a little kind of knob that you can push, so you can make it so that your top plate is hovering and it's not touching this bottom plate. Now I use this a lot to make pizza. I cook the bottom and then I put my topping on, and then this just makes it so I kind of keep the bottom warm, and I'm just cooking the cheese and kind of any ingredients that I have on top. Super amazing. Now I can open it even more. There's another little button over here and I can make it, and it's hard to see from, I don't have the hugest island. But I can have 2 cooking surfaces, so I could do some bacon on one side, some eggs on another. I can do vegetables on one side, shrimp on the other. That hibachi recipe is amazing. And all of it drains into a drain basin in the middle here that you then can pull out in the front and clean or put in the dishwasher. So we use this thing literally all the time. I love that it's easy to use, it's user-friendly, and I'm just gonna put this button over here on the side. I know this is hard to see. And you can actually store it upright. So I store this on top of the cabinet in my dining room. It's high enough away where my kids aren't gonna play with it. It's a big item and I don't have room in my cabinets, but it's nice and easy to reach. And again, I use it all the time, so I want to have easy access. So this is our deluxe electric grill and griddle. This is one of the main reasons that people are wanting to host shows, to get it at a discount. So anything that you see in the catalog, you can get at a discount if you host a party, or if you host a shared rewards party, everybody has the opportunity to earn it at a discount. So please let me know if you have any questions. I think those are all the items that I wanted to show for tonight or today. So yeah, please ask questions, have fun in the party, and thanks for spending some time with me. Thanks.